Hello and welcome to Voluntold Detail. I'm your host and narrator, Millennial Shipbird. Okay, I'm ready. We're going to be talking about the VA today. Okay, so I'm at a point after 15 years out of the Marine Corps to where I think that I have finally gotten rid of the depression that I have started, built, and cauterized since then. And you don't know how depressed you are until it's gone, you know? Um, you have no idea how much pain you were in until you're completely healed. Not really, because you're always going to have residual pain. But you can definitely tell when you've never had pain and you get pain. But the problem is with depression, it doesn't work like that. You know, it's the exact opposite. You did not feel that initial shock of it. The only time you feel that is when you actually fucking lose it. So what did I learn from the VA in the 15 years? So like everybody else, I did tap and tamps, or whatever the fuck program you have to get your mommy step to get the fuck out. You know, oh, you're no cavities, you can get out. Hearing, you missed the hearing test there, devil, take it again. Okay, we're gonna send you to the civilian. He wasn't lying. I wasn't. Fucking send me to the civilian. Hearing. That shit. You get out. Triplicates. All that shit, right? On what you gotta have. Well, I don't know whether they give you memory sticks now. We had to have paper and 3 copies. One you give to the VA, one's yours, and I can't remember what the fuck where the other one went to. So you do all that trash, right? And you go submit to the VA. Whatever. When I did that, that was it. That's all I did for the VA. Submit that shit, right? And then I waited 17 months with $10,000, lost all my money. And in that time, lost 30 pounds in my last month, moved the fuck out of California to Wyoming, and within 48 hours, I was at my fucking first hour of work. Get a call literally a month later, 18 months out, and they're like, hey, we're ready to see ya. And I says, hey, you're going to need to send me a fucking plane ticket. And they're like, why? And I was like, because I just moved to Wyoming. It's like, oh, canceled. You need to resubmit that. What? Yeah, goodbye. What the fuck? So I resubmit this shit, but I do it with the DAV. And that's where I started learning to do things right. You don't submit your shit when you get out. You get an advocate, like a lawyer or somebody, a proxy. And these guys will do this shit for you. DAV is. I'm a member of the DAV. They're good to go. Now, they did their trash. You submit it. VA is like, oh, you want something. Let's poke and prod you. So they poke and prod you. They figure out what you got. Then you go down to some lady. She explains it all to you. And I don't know what the fuck she all said. It was like 2016, December. So I was getting ready, coming up, so what, year, 9 months out. And over 2 years out, the Marine Corps is actually when I got my first paycheck. Outside of the 50% from the DOD, which is fucking, I think it was like $530, you know, some trash like that. So you get your back pay at that point. If you're getting out on a medical discharge like me or medical retirement. If you're just out in regular VA, just skip all that process and wait till that good old bread and butter moment when you get your back pay. So you get your back pay. And you have to blow it. Got to spend it on stupid shit, right? I did. You know, things went boom boom and things that went boom boom. So you spend all your money, right? Don't worry about it. Something happens in the future. A woman, that's what got me. Wasn't combat, wasn't nightmares and all that trash. It was a woman, believe it or fucking not. And yeah, that's where fucking they get us all, really. If you think about it, there's always a fucking woman involved with those grunts. So I lost my shit. So that's when I actually first went to the VA for help. And that's 5 years out. So I'm out for 5 years letting this shit build up, cauterize, and set in before I even go to the VA. So at this point, you're already PT'd the fuck out. So obviously that didn't work out. So then you come back in 5 years later. Should you not? Yeah, that's millennial shitbird, right? So I come in 10 years out of the Marine Corps. And now I'm married, kids, house, yada, yada. And I got a job with a management position. So this is my first time ever being a manager over civilians. So fuck yeah, I went back to the VA. And this is when I actually went, because I'm curious now. So we're halfway where we need to be. And work became more important. And then you got to have a low point, gents. You got to have a low point to realize you need help. And my low point was a year and a half later when I realized I cannot be a manager in the civilian world. It has nothing to do with the grunts. It's the officers. You don't want to obey federal law? You don't want to obey state law? I called human resource 3 times on 3 separate sexual harassment cases, and the guy's still there. Oh, it's because you want to make sure you won't get your ass sued. Has nothing to do with all the little girls getting hit on by a fucking creepy perv in management who's literally 23 or 4. Like, the skull fucking that I wanted to do. So I had my breakdown, whatever, and it wasn't at that point. No. Got to push it a little bit more, right, gents? So I leave that job like, fuck you. I could have called the ATF and got you guys fined a lot of money. Didn't do it. You know, that's petty shit, right? And so I get out. I do the stupid shit in my state where you got to do all the stupid gayness to get unemployment. So we do all that. I get my job. I'm literally at my job for 3 weeks. There's a pregnant chick there that's like 36 who's on her 6th fucking kid. And when I come to work for part-time, what does she do? She turns the fucking mute button off on the fucking ring. Because we are selling guns. And a callback or a call-in is how we make that $100 sale, baby. Gun ain't $100. These are gold-plated and all that engraved shit. It's a $100 incentive sale for me. So she's worried about this kid. Dude, and that is literally when I lost my fucking shit. The same week my wife lost her fucking dad. So everything went down. Or I mean, yeah, my wife lost her dad. I think I just said sister. I don't know. TBI. And it was just a rough month, baby. So we fucking, that all went down. And that's when I called the veteran hotline, the veteran crisis hotline. So if you're ever having a problem with the VA or life in general, just call them. It has nothing to do with suicide. Nothing to do with suicide. You can do it for suicide, but before you get to the suicide, please call them. Okay? So I call them, and that's when it began. And this is where it got important. We're already fucking almost 7.5 minutes in. So now you have to give a fuck, because I hit rock bottom. So I now give a fuck about my wife, my children, and my future. Instead of, fuck it, let's just plow through this bitch. Keep humping, baby. Don't look back. There's nothing behind you. That's the history. Gotta look forward, right? So you do that. And this is the most important thing when you really want help. 100% fucking trust. With the reserve of a skull fucking. At any given fucking moment. Like a fucking scorpion tail. Every time you go into the fucking VA, you're ready to fucking strike. But you're trusting them. I know. So the first time I went, I got fucked over, right? You gotta get fucked over, right? She was old, giving me old drugs, almost killed me and all that good trash. She gets retired. Her husband just retired, but they force retired her. So, strike number 1. Fuck it. Keep going. Gave me a Marine. Not only a Marine, a fucking enlisted man from 29 Palms who fucking made it up the ranks, baby. Problem is, man like that gonna get promoted again, so I didn't have him for more than a year. Wonderful man, gone. So now we got to go to others and shit like that, right? But you got to show that trust. And this is the most important part. When they give you a drug, try it. It's going to work for 2 to 4 months before you get that side effect. There's too many side effects for them to tell you them. And you might have whatever. Find out what the side effects are when they're beginning to start the side effects, when anything changes different, and that's bam, when that scorpion tail comes in there and hit that shit. You need to know beforehand. Can I cut this off right away? Or do I got to cut it down in doses? And how many days do I got to cut it down in doses? Now, these motherfuckers going to say, oh, 2 weeks this, 2 weeks that, 2 that. But no, fuck that shit. What you immediately do is you cut that shit down in half. Do it a couple days. Cut that one out, half. Couple days. Or whatever. You can do a week solid. But if you're doing 2 weeks wholly to get rid of this shit, better watch it. Go to the next drug. It's been over 3 years. Lost track of the names. Lost track of the side effects. Lost track of the stress it causes family over this. But you push through it because you gave him your trust. And you go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. When you fall into a fucking crack, go back to the DAV, the Veterans Crisis Hotline, so on and so forth. If you are trying to fix a problem with the VA, and these motherfuckers say, I can't do that, I gotta transfer. I can't do that, I gotta transfer. That's when you kick the fucking tree, man. And you keep kicking until something with the chief, director, or something in front of that shit. Because doctor ain't gonna do it, baby. Or nurse practitioner, which is your provider. They are not doctors, they are nurses. So, shout out to the fucking nurses running the whole goddamn grunt system. Those are the grunts. Don't lose your shit on the grunts. If you lose your shit on the grunt VAs, apologize for losing your shit on them. It's not their fault. It's the brass. The assholes in DC. The motherfucking directors and chiefs that don't scream at DC over this shit, but they can't because they don't want to lose their job. One guy did do that in Phoenix, and we saw what happens. Show your trust, trust them, and fucking make sure you always have that fucking stinger right above your fucking head. Control your fucking life. But you have to trust in somebody when you go for help. And that's what you do with the VA. Control your life, but ask them for help. And if you don't know what to do, there are fucking all of us out here, devil. Go find a fucking devil dog out there, or a fucking dog face, or a chair force, or whatever the fuck you may be, and pick one that's like 10 years older than you. Don't pick one 30 years older than you. Pick one like 10 years older than you. Because he's going to tell you fresher shit on what's about to happen in the next fucking 10 years. I mean, I could keep going on, but that you got to show trust. You got to give a fuck. Do not hit the rock bottom first. If you hit that rock bottom first, man, you're going to be working hard. I've been working 3 years on this shit, and I know I got a couple more years before I get there, because I just got rid of depression. My anger is fucking still at 100, baby. Fucking, you can never take the NCO out of this grunt.